Happy Wednesday, everyone. We are getting going on a beautiful stretch of weather starting today, and that's why we have Cole Engle to share all of the wonderful news.
Yeah, it's beautiful out there, Taylor, right now. It's sitting, I think, in the low 70s. We have no humidity, which is a big change from
That's
what
a
we had
win.
last week. So, yeah, I hope everyone's enjoying it, and it's something that's going to stick around, too. Looking at the current conditions, we have temperatures right now actually in the mid-70s. We're right now 75 here in Lansing, 73 down in Charlotte, 74 over in Mason. But another thing we have in common is that sunshine. Like I said, it's going to be sticking around here for the next few days. And yeah, taking a look at those dew points, they're sitting in the 50s right now. Anytime they're below 60, that's when it feels pleasant and you do not feel that, sticky or humidity or anything like that. So it's feeling really good out there. And yeah, if we look at the muggy meter for the next few days, you can see that humidity is not coming back anytime soon. So from Wednesday all the way through the weekend, even into early next week, it's going to stay pretty comfortable here, which is something that we have not seen a lot this summer. So yeah, it's going to feel pretty good. And we'll look at the US 127 Skycam, which is brought to you by the Meridian Company Skycam Network. And there's those blue skies I was talking about and that traffic that's flowing pretty smoothly right now. And yeah.
The sky, even though it's blue, we welcome the blue sunny skies. They look a little bit hazy just from this sky cam right now.
So we do have a little bit of that wildfire smoke that's way up in the atmosphere from the wildfires over there in the west. So that's something that we are seeing, but it's not going anywhere near the surface. It's not going to affect our breathing or anything. So yeah, it is going to be a little hazy, but that's the only thing that we're going to have to worry about the next few days, because it's just going to be darn right beautiful. It's going to be
like I said that.
It's going to be feeling a lot more like September year around here. But yeah, looking at the satellite and radar, it's clear, not just for us, for everyone in the lower peninsula. And we'll zoom out and you can see that the closest thing we have to us are a few rain showers over in Minnesota, and even those rain showers are going to break apart or move north before even hitting us. So yeah, it's going to be staying pretty dry. I kind of sound like a broken record at this point, but the bottom line is going to be beautiful. And we'll take it hour by hour, mainly focusing on the temperatures here for the next few days. Going into the evening, it's going to be a wonderful evening. We'll have temperatures in the mid-70s with those mostly sunny skies. Into tonight, we'll drop into the 50s, so it's a great night to leave those windows open, so great sleeping weather. It might even be a little bit cooler tomorrow. It actually says 49 there for Charlotte, so it's going to start out cool, but we'll quickly rebound into the 70s later on in the afternoon. 77 at this time for the lunch hour on tomorrow. And then going into the evening, it's going to be in the closer to 80, and then we'll drop back down into the 60s overnight going into Friday, and then Friday morning we should be waking up around the same what we have for the past few days with those mid-60s. So just bottom line, like I said, just beautiful few days that we have coming up for us. And that rainfall, you can see any rainfall we do have in the state of Michigan is going to be far to our north. It's going to be confined to the upper peninsula. Here in the southern peninsula, we're going to be staying fine. So if you have any traveling plans up to the UP going into this week or the following weekend, that's something you want to maybe keep in mind.
That would be a great weekend, or this would be a great weekend to head up north.
Yeah, especially for traveling, because like I said, it's just going to be clear and stuff. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. And we'll break it down by day to see when that rainfall is going to happen for us north. Again, it's going to stay dry here, but you can see Thursday and Friday, Saturday are all some chances we might have some light rain showers to the far north, but staying dry down here in the Lansing area. And yeah, it's a good, if you haven't gone out there and took care of your yard in a while, these next few days are going to be perfect for it. So here's your lawn and garden forecast. Wednesday through Saturday, even beyond that, Sunday, Monday, it's all going to be good.
I was going to say, this morning when I was pulling into our parking lot, we had the landscapers out in the back too. So even they're on top of it. They're like, hey, beautiful weather, let's get to it.
Right, exactly. So yeah, if you haven't been out there, make sure to get up or get the yard together or whatever you got to do, mow the lawn, grab the weeds out of the garden. It's going to be a great weekend for that. And like I said, even going beyond that, it's going to look pretty good. And looking at that 10-day forecast, look at all the sunshine, Taylor.
Soak it
Incredible amount. And the temperatures too. Like, I think average temperature this time of year is 82 degrees. So we're going to be staying a little bit below that, but there's just no humidity in this forecast. Only chance of rain we have in this 7-day right here is on Sunday, and I think most of us are going to stay dry on that day. It's not impossible that we see a quick rain shower, but again, I think most of us are going to stay dry. So if you have any plans this weekend, outside, please take advantage because it's going to be a good one.
I was going to say, whether you prefer an early fall or you like a late summer, you're kind of getting a mixture of both here with especially when you look at Saturday, you're still getting the sun, but it's low 70s. So if you have any plans to do anything outside, but you're not looking to overheat or sweat, I mean, great weekend to do that.
Right, and it's the second weekend of August now.
Yeah.
So we're getting closer to that school. Kids are going back to school, going back to college. I myself, I'm going to college. We're going back to Central next week.
Fire up.
Fire up, yeah. So it's going to be great weather to be moving in stuff, if you're going to the dorms or just moving in general. And then just if you want to, for those younger kids, if you want to soak in those last few days of just nice weather, this coming weekend will be nice. We're going into the 10-day. You can see even beyond that. Well, I guess you can't see it because it's not in there, but it's
within the 10-day.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good. So, yeah, this pattern of mostly sunny skies and temperatures sitting around the 80-degree mark, it's going to be something we're seeing for the next 10 days.
All right, we're basically copying and pasting the forecast here and there.
Yep. A little bit cooler on Saturday, but other than that, pretty much same thing every day. Upper 70s, mostly sunny skies. A slight chance of rain going into later hours on Sunday, and then the best chance of rain in the entire 10-day forecast is all the way for next Friday. And that's still next Friday, so obviously things could change. But yeah, in the meantime, enjoy the weather.
Enjoy the weather, go to the pool, the lake. Like Cole was saying, if you need to pack up, I know Michigan State begins school at the end of August.
Yep.
So if you plan on moving in, maybe you're going for a run, you're working out, training like the Olympians over here, or bonfires or anything else. Great weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, if you don't have any plans to go outside, make them now because this weekend is going to be the weekend to do that.
Even if there are no plans, maybe just like grab a chair and just sit outside.
Yeah, just sit outside, soak it in, because you never know, the pattern might change coming up, next week or whatever, and it could be a little bit more rainier, it could be hotter. We're at the time of year where anything could happen, so take advantage of it.
All right, we will. You better.
Yeah.
I will.
I will too, yeah.
I'm not going to demand it from everyone, but hey, soak it up all you can.
It's recommended.
Yeah, it's strongly recommended. Okay. Well, we'll see you coming up on First at 4, right?
Correct. Yep, I'll be there.
All right, sounds good. We'll see you then, Cole.
Yeah. Ooh.
Thank you. Woo! Beautiful weather, and expect more of it.
Yep.
But one more time, I'll give you a live look over Michigan State University, their campus, which is in East Lansing. I know Chris Schultz is joining us this afternoon. Good afternoon, Chris. And he's from East Lansing, so that's why we're giving that live look over Michigan State University right now. But as you heard Cole talking about, beautiful stretch of weather over these next 10 days and taking a look at the beautiful blue skies and the sun. I know we still have some of those clouds sticking around, but hey, overall, it's going to be a beautiful stretch of weather. So I'll take some live looks across mid-Michigan at the very end. But right now, we'll go full circle with weather. But right now, I'm going to share what we have coming up, some of those programming changes as I'm watching, some of the Olympic commercials in the distance right now. Getting a little distracted, but it's okay. It's Olympic season, right? But let me share where you can watch Studio 10, News 10 today at 11, First at 4, our 90 minutes of news because there have been those changes. And then I'll just get right into what we have coming up on First at 4 in our 90 minutes of news. So we're going to start with Studio 10, which you can catch at the end of our hour-long newscast here on News 10 today at 11 and First at 4. So in the meantime, if you're looking for Studio 10, head over to their social media pages and you can use their handle at WILX Studio 10 to search them up and look for all those fun events happening across mid-Michigan. I know Rochelle has a fun story coming up where they're helping veterans across our area. And so tune in to First at 4 today. If you missed it during News 10 today at 11, you'll be able to watch it coming up First at 4. So make sure you're tuning in for that story because it's helping veterans across our area and just such a great thing to be doing. So anything else that you want to look forward to? Hey, maybe any plans going on this weekend? As Cole was mentioning, you can look up and brainstorm or get inspired from Studio 10 on some of those events, or Rochelle's recipes if you're looking to, get the grill out. Maybe the bonfire and cook some things, or Cole's Crafts. If you want to head outside and just get crafty with it, do so too. If you have any chalk or bubbles or paint that you want to break out, or any new decor that you want to have for the apartments, your house, dorms, whatever it may be, Studio 10 has you covered on all of your inspiration, your crafty ideas, and things going on across the area. So they're bringing the fun for you. Make sure you're tuning in again at the end of First at 4. And I do want to make mention again, the Olympics, or with the Olympics, News 10 today at 11 and First at 4 are extended to an hour-long newscast. And you can find News 10 today at 11 and First at 4 on our Heroes and Icons channel on 10.3. News 10 at 5 and 5:30 and Jeopardy are on our Me TV channel 10.2. Now, something else I want to mention with this is it is happening during the Paris Olympics. So you're going to have these programming changes where you're watching News 10 today at 11 and First at 4 on the Heroes and Icons channel on 10.3, and then News 10 at 5 and 5:30 and Jeopardy on Me TV channel 10.2. This is going to be happening for the next couple of days here. And so by the time next week happens, we're going to be switching back to our regular programming. So let me find the exact date here. So on Monday, August 12th, we are back to our regular programming, which means you'll be able to find News 10 today at 11, First at 4, News 10 at 5, 5:30, and Jeopardy, all on our channel 10.1. That's next week on Monday the 12th when the Paris Olympics are over. So again, during the stretch of the Paris Olympics, we are going to have those programming changes. So just keep note of that. I'm sure you've been with us for the past week and a half during the Olympics. You probably found those changes. If not, you're learning it now. You can pass that info along to anyone else who is a viewer of News 10, and we would greatly appreciate that. But just wanted to let you know what to expect over the next couple of days and then heading into next week because of the Olympics. So that's your little note. But I'm now going to share what we have coming up today on First at 4 and our 90 minutes of news. So we're going to pull that up real quick. Coming up today on Mid-Michigan Matters during First at 4, Michigan had the state primary election yesterday on Tuesday, and so looking to fill a lot of important positions. For example, Mike Rogers and Alyssa Slotkin both winning those races for the state of Michigan and looking to fill a very crucial seat in the state of Michigan. That is because Debbie Stabenow, U.S. Senator, is retiring, not seeking re-election. There we go. And because of that, she's held that seat for quite a while now, and has quite the impact across Michigan. So now looking at these two candidates here, Mike Rogers and Alyssa Slotkin, again going head-to-head for the November general election. We're going to be looking ahead to that big election. I know it's been a big talker all year, and even last year we began talking about it. So make sure you're tuning in to Mid-Michigan Matters today. We are bringing in Lansing City Clerk Chris Swope to speak on voter turnout from the primary election, some of the things that we're seeing during the primary election and those key ballot issues, and then also the candidates also that you can vote on. So we're looking at that, looking at the voter turnout, whether that's absentee ballots, early in-person voting, and also in-person voting for the primary election, and taking that knowledge and what was observed and looking ahead to the November general election of what could change, how Michiganders will be affected from whatever is on the ballot, and of course the candidates that are elected into those positions. We're going to share that coming up on First at 4 on Mid-Michigan Matters today. So make sure you're tuning in. And then kind of continuing everything with politics in the election, coming up on News 10 at 5, Republican Vice President nominee J.D. Vance made an appearance in Shelby Township Wednesday morning and calling out Kamala Harris' policy decisions on immigration and police. So former President Donald Trump hoping that Vance will give him a boost in key Midwestern swing states, including here in Michigan. We are a key battleground state. It'll be very interesting to see how the key battleground states, Arizona, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and I'm missing one, but yes, how those key battleground states will really decide the outcome of the presidential election or the November general election. So make sure that you are keeping your eyes and ears up to date on that, and we're going to have you covered, of course, right here on News 10. But our News 10 Deanna Giles was at Vance's event this morning. She'll have more on that coming up tonight on News 10 at 5. And then coming up News 10 at 5:30, in Jackson County, voters decided who would be their lead prosecutor. We'll break down the race, and that was between Assistant Prosecutors Kelsey Guernsey and Jared Hopkins. That's coming up News 10 at 5:30. And then lastly, News 10 at 6. We're officially 1 week into August, and that means back to school time is just around the corner. The Ingham County Health Department is helping children, teens, and their families get a healthy start for the new school year. I know a lot of teachers, a lot of students and parents, they tend to get sick at the beginning of the school year. Not only do we head into fall, which is typically cold and flu season, but also you have all these people coming together and, they're coming from different places. You might have some germs, some grime, right? And you may not be used to some of the bacteria and some of the germs. So making sure that you're staying healthy heading into the school year. So again, Ingham County Health Department is helping children, teens, and their families get a healthy start for the new school year. And then coming up tonight on News 10 at 6, we'll take you to the National Healthcare Center Week. That is what we have coming up today on First at 4 and our 90 minutes of news. You know what's happening in weather. You know where to find Studio 10. But one last time, let me give you some live looks across mid-Michigan just so you can find more of what it's looking like across the area. So one more time, that 10-day forecast right here. Let me show that to you. And then I will take you to, we've already seen Michigan State University, what it's looking like over there. Ooh, let me take you to Delta Township. It's looking pretty good over there right now. You see some of that traffic, and it looks like those cars are stuck at a light. Oh, now they are moving. But it looks like traffic is moving along in Delta Township. That's Saginaw Highway right there. And then let me give you some other live looks across the area. We'll head to downtown Jackson right now. Oh, just kidding. It's looking oddly colored. We're not going to do that. We're going to head over to downtown Lansing, overlooking Lansing Community College and our state capitol, of course. You're taking a live look over there. What other areas can I give you? I-496, if you plan on traveling. Actually, I-496 is looking a bit wonky too, so we'll take you to Mason. There we go. They just got to do things on the fly. Here is a live look over downtown Mason. Of course, that construction is still happening over there, but as you look at the flags kind of in the distance, they're, moving a little bit. But compared to yesterday when we had those showers coming through, some of those storms, Mason's flags are really moving, and today you're seeing they're kind of just hanging out. So not as much wind. And then I will get a last live look over US 127. Again, if you plan on hitting the roads, Cole was showing you the sky cam when he was joining us earlier. And again, it's just looking beautiful out there. So if you plan on hitting the roadways or whatever else you plan on doing today, just take your time, soak up the sun, appreciate the low humidity, appreciate the stretch of weather we're about to get, or that we are getting currently, because it's starting today. So all good news in the forecast, and we're going to be sharing a lot more with you here on News 10, whether that's the Olympic Zone coming up at 7:30 on WILX. We're also going to be recapping more and updating you on the Paris Olympics. We're going to give you that updated count on the medal standings, with the U.S. leading the way, not only with medals, but also in the gold. So hopefully that sticks. Go Team USA. Let's see what happens throughout the remainder of today, and anything else that may be happening. Let's see here. One last thing I do want to make note of is our You're Not Alone mental health series real quick. Again, I know we've talked about it in relation to the Olympians who are facing all sorts of pressure, right, on their mental health and physical health. You are doing a lot of strenuous work. They're Olympians for a reason, because you're not seeing everyone across the world up on those stages, in the pools, on the courts, on the track, you name it. They put in work day in and day out. A lot of effort, a lot of energy, and a lot of expectations and pressures too. So, hey, most of us are not Olympians, but we do face those pressures in other areas of our life, whether that is career-wise or a job. Maybe it's not a career, maybe it's a job and you have multiple and there's stressors from different avenues. Maybe it's a personal thing. Maybe you're going through a transition of life and, hey, you could be an athlete, a student athlete, and maybe that part of you, your identity isn't there anymore. So no matter what you're going through, no matter what you're feeling, know that you're not alone, and we have those resources for you through our QR code on your screen. Just go ahead, scan it with your cell phone's camera. It'll pull up a link to our website, WILX.com, and you'll be able to find those mental health care professionals that are ready to listen to you, support you, provide any advice if you're looking for advice, and really just improve your emotional well-being. So we're going to end it on that note, because you can head outside this week for the next 10 days. I know weather is a big thing, kind of ties into our emotions a little bit, right? The weather changes and so do our emotions. So I kind of like to make that connection there. But because it's going to be sunny, let me try to pull it up for you one more time. Oop. There we go, almost clicked the wrong button. I'll pull up that 10-day forecast one more time, because it's not going to be as humid, low humidity, which means you're not going to feel icky and gross when you head out the door. You can actually appreciate it. Still put on that sunscreen, because even though we have some cooler temperatures, I'm going to put that in air quotes, cooler, because it's still warm outside, it's still summer. But make sure you're putting on the sunscreen to protect you from the UVA, UVB rays. If you plan on tanning, heading out to the pool, lake, just being outdoors, reading a book, drinking some tea or coffee, maybe you're working out or just taking the dog for a walk, or you yourself on a walk. Apply that sunscreen, you know, crank up the SPF a little bit. But other than that, just go soak up the sun. And you know, something to improve your emotional well-being is maybe meditate or do some yoga. You can journal, maybe work on a craft. Look up Studio 10 and you can find some of Cole's crafts and get some great ideas of things to find some peace of mind, you know, and just really clear your mind out. Maybe journal out everything that is giving you stress and crumple it up. That's sometimes what I do. I'm like, this is stressing me out. We're gonna write it down. We're gonna crumple it. We're gonna shred it and then just let it go and accept what it is for a moment, or try to change what I'm doing to change the outcome. A lot of different things you can do to improve your mental health, but it really is about taking that first step, and it can be a challenge. So with the weather being nice this week, really take advantage of that. Get outside, do what makes you feel good, and yeah, just be kind to yourself. Show yourself love and appreciation. We'll have that as your words of wisdom on this Wednesday. But anything else left to mention? It's kind of it. Just great weather, get outside, keep tuning in to us here on News 10 for your Olympic updates, and then anything on the primary election as well. So we've got a lot of news, of course, and we're going to keep you updated. But have a great Wednesday, everyone.